want to take a moment and walk you through our 6 core values. These are really important. As you hear me talk about these, I want you to really process and see if these are values to you. The first one is alignment, and basically think of unity. We want to be a church where everyone that comes and becomes a partner of the church is aligned to the vision. And so think about the stuff we talked about, the battleship cruise ship thing. Are you really in it for a battleship? Or are you kind of a cruise ship person? And I know that's hard to say. Nobody's going to raise their hand and go, oh yeah, I'm a battleship, it's all about me. Nobody wants to, really admit that, but you got to really think about that, because if you're part of our church, we're going to expect as a partner that you're going to be a battleship person, that you're going to make it about other people, that you're going to make it about people that don't know Christ, that you're going to be willing to serve where the needs are, that you're going to be willing to take time, invest in relationships. So really look and go, am I aligned to this vision? Number 2, our second core value is involvement. We want everyone to get involved. Now, not everyone's going to be involved on the same level. In fact, you may be here and go, man, I am just so intimidated by the idea of being involved in the church because I don't think I'm all that spiritual, and I don't really know much. What would I do? I can't sing, I can't preach. What am I going to do? Man, we have places of involvement for everybody. In fact, we kind of think about the church almost like the economy, that we want everybody to have a job. We want everybody to be a part. We want everybody to help this thing move forward. And so we do want you to get involved. We expect you to get involved. And even if you're in a super busy season, hey man, that's okay. You may have to cut back for a little bit, but we don't want you to detach, because when you're a part of it, there's an element there that's not there if you're gone. We need you to be a part of it, not just for the church to move forward, but for you to move forward. And so we're shooting high. We're shooting for 100% participation. The third core value is change. All right, now some of you probably just got sick when I said that, because a lot of people hate change. They don't like change. Change is a part of our culture. We're always changing. Now, we don't want to just change for the sake of change or for the heck of it. We think like this: healthy things grow, and growing things change. If we're healthy, we're going to grow. If we grow, we're going to change. You remember when your voice changed? You remember when you had to change sizes in clothes as you got older? That's our church. And so we're never going to get to the place where we're just static or stagnant. We're always going to be changing. And so if change is just something you just can't do and you just can't handle it, we're going to drive you nuts. You're going to hate this church. You're going to want to, leave one day. So I would just prepare yourself. Change is going to be a part of our future. We always want to be adapting. We'll never change the message, because Jesus already did the work, and the good news is the gospel of Jesus Christ. We're not going to change that, but we're always going to be tweaking the methods. Okay. The next one is collaboration. Working together. And we mean collaborating within the church and outside the church. And that means collaborating with our community. We want our community to know we're here. We want to add value to our community, and we want to collaborate with other churches. Man, think about, from God's perspective, He looks down at the world and He doesn't see, well, there's one church and there's 2 church and there's 3 church. He sees, these are my kids. And just like a parent, when their kids work well together, man, it's exciting and it pleases you. It's pleasing to God when His children work together. And so we want to work with other churches and other pastors and other Christians and other believers to really see God do something special in our city. So we pray for other churches, and we work together, and we worship together, and always want to see it that way. We never think of other churches as competition. The next one is adventure. And we're always going to be taking Spirit-led, prayerful risks. Okay, that's our DNA. We will take risks. Now, we're not just going to take dumb risks. We're not just going to skydive with no parachute or whatever. We're going to look and go, okay, God, what are you telling us to do? Now we're going to take the step of faith. We're going to pray about it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get on the same page, and then we're going to be willing to take risks, because we believe life was meant to be an adventure. And without faith, it's impossible to please God. We want to be a church that lives Hebrews 11:6. We want to be a church that's full of faith so we please God. And that means sometimes that's going to be a financial risk. Sometimes that's going to be a relational risk. Sometimes that's going to be a geographic risk. There's all kinds of things, but just know that part of our culture, part of our DNA, and a core value for us is adventure. So don't be shocked when this thing is an adventure. And then the last one is multiplication. Right, so we get this God-sized vision from Jesus, go into all the world and preach the gospel to everybody. Okay, this is huge. This means that we can't just be one church, but one church has to multiply. So we've built into our core values and into our DNA to be a multiplying church. So every year we help to plant another church. We give money and we coach with their team, and we give them missions. We're part of multiplying around the world, and we want to multiply both internally and externally. We want to do leadership development and multiplication inside the church, but then we want to be a church that plants churches. We want to plant 100 churches. We don't want to just be this one church. We want to be a bunch of churches, releasing a bunch of leaders, getting a bunch of people involved, and in so doing, we do what we've been saying, ignite a movement. Igniting a movement happens through multiplication. So those are our values: alignment, involvement, collaboration, change, adventure, and multiplication.